Jalen Hurts is apparently on the road to playing on Sunday. He's been gearing up, limited in practices, but the question is, should it be shifting gears down? What's up? It's your boy Cintron. I'm back at you with another news video, and this time we're looking at Jalen Hurts and his availability. He's been trying to get himself ready last week, and even a Cowboy game. He apparently could have played if it was a playoff game, but he just would have been facing some discomfort and some limitations. Obviously, they didn't want him to land on the shoulder, so that came out a week after that. He could have also played this game if it was, higher status, different level of urgency to it. But they were afraid that he would just re-injure it with the bone in between these two bones, with the clavicle being an issue or a worry that if he landed on that and made it and broke that bone, obviously he'd be out for a prolonged absence. But just when he gets to like the 3-week marker, it'll apparently be safe enough for him not to re-injure it / damage it further. So he'll be in the clear. But we've been giving this dog and pony show with Nick, Willie or won't he? But he is apparently on track to play. But like I said, we shall see, because you really don't know. He's been limited in the 2 practices up until today. And is that just for precautionary measures? Like I said, when it comes to that 3-week marker, that's really the benchmark we've been trying to reach, and everything will be all clear sailing from there. But even if he does play and he's in the clear, we don't expect him to be the Jalen of old, running on a heavy dose of design plays. Hopefully in emergency only. Break in case of emergency. Like, you don't want him just scrambling and running around willy-nilly with some backups most likely in from the Giants, who don't give 2 shits if they get suspended or not, because it's not going to heavily impact them going forward. So they just have nothing to lose and everything to gain by impressing the coach and playing hard through the whistle. You don't want to endanger him. So the best case scenario would be, build a strong lead going into halftime and then just have him sit from there. Let's say we're up 21-0 or up 21 points at least. That would be a good sign to sit him and most of the other starters. But you never know how aggressive. Because their D coordinator, he blitzes. Wink Martindale, he doesn't mince his mission when it comes to getting after the quarterback. He blitzes like he's the second coming of Jim Johnson. The talent, but the will is there. So we'll have to see how that affects the the decision making, and also just the flow of the game. Where things headed, and I don't know if weather's going to be an issue. If it's going to be cold or not, because that injury happened in the cold. I just feel like that wouldn't have happened on a hard field like that. But hey, we still control our destiny. It's win, and you're locked in to that number 1 spot. That 1-week bye, and starting with a head start in the divisional round. So, the play style has to be different. It has to, be more of a pocket passer. Try to call, quick rhythm passes to get the ball out of his hand. But obviously, it's still going to be vanilla. They don't want to show anything for the playoffs and to future opponents, because, tape is everything. They're going to review the hell out of our 17 weeks of footage that we've put out there. And, so how much, do they give just a couple series? Or I don't think they play it lightly here. I think we just go in for the kill, go for the juggler, go for the win. But the question is, I think the Giants starters do get some play just because they don't want them to be complete rusty. But I think it only extends to like a series or 2, something light. Because I don't think Dayball he might appeal. Some article I read this week said he might appeal to the GM to, please let him play, please let him be big here, let him be Giants. But who knows? I don't have insider access. I'm just going off my prognostications and pouring over data and information that I have available, out in the public sphere. I ain't gonna pay for the extra information, even though I do have insider access with all 22 film, and I ain't got time to review that. Got other shit to do, other material content to make, but it should be interesting though. So it's like the dosage of Jalen Hurts, and like I read in our article that Driscoll hasn't played that poorly. It was just Gardner Minshew. He played with happy feet. He didn't really play in the pocket. Let the pocket set itself. He was just itching to get out, and I don't know if it was one read and go, but it really looked like that. His first read, his first read wasn't there. He just panicked and got rid of the ball, or just threw it elsewhere, and then dangerous. So we got that pick six because he was just settled in on throwing it to AJ Brown, even though he was not open. He was not 7-11, baby. So we'll see what the game plan is with Jalen Hurts. But man, the offensive staff has to step it up. Give him a balanced attack. Let Miles play, or whoever's behind Miles. For Lord's sake, activate Trey Sermon so he can get some burn. I hope he is activated. We'll see. I hope we see a lot of guys that are activated that normally aren't. And we just need to make our running game a diamond. Make it Jalen Hurts' best friend. Support him. And yes, I do expect to see some read options, some zone read looks, stuff like that. But please do not expose this man to unnecessary amount of danger. Get him in there. Give him the keys to succeed, to get up, and let him get the fuck out of the game. All right, let's look at some other injuries, returns that also affect the depth and also what we can do with the roster. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, CGJ, is back. He has been activated off of injury reserve. His 21-day practice window has been activated. So he can play this week. The question is, will he? It's different, someone playing safety, defense. It's more plug and play, even though safety does a lot more than just a lineman or even a linebacker. It's more intricate, but I believe that he could not play and still be effective. But like I said, any risk of injury or risk of re-injuring that kidney, you just hold him out. You want to play it safe. He's a key integral piece, and we're going to need him definitely with Avonte Maddox being out. I believe they slot him in at slot corner, nickel corner, and they let Reed, who has acquitted himself quite nicely, cover CJ's spot when he's out there in the nickel and closer to the line of scrimmage. But I don't want to see them doing a lot. Him blitzing and stuff like that. Leave that to our linebackers. Make it sparingly. They try to do too much with Avonte, and then I hate that. I hated that he was just coming back, and like a new toy. Again, and his eyes got big, and he started salivating out of the mouth, and got excited. Just use him in so many intricate ways. I'm like, why would you show that there? One, and two, just the usage. It was just too much. He broke down. And that one play, was his fault for the way, him not going in for the full tackle. He hesitated, which made him hurt himself. But that's besides the point. He's out now. We don't know when he's expected back. If this season, I think maybe he could play in the Super Bowl, but that's, like I said, there's no guarantee that we get there. So that's wishful thinking at this point. But yeah, CGJ, his role could be quite intricate and quite critical for us. So I don't think they would show so many looks though. They might just play Josiah there and save that for the playoffs. But not fooling anybody. It's we already know that's kind of what you want to do, and I'm a fan. So coaches already have it on their slate to practice like that for him in that role. And then Robert Quinn, not a starter, and he actually was hurt. Reports came out that knee injury was not just a fluke. Okay, we're just gonna put you on injury reserve just because you're injured. But he actually was injured, and hopefully he comes back refreshed. He got a little scope, a little shaky, a little clean up there, a little different tuck. I'm just using terminology here, but yeah, he got that cleaned up, got some rest, then hopefully he can resemble, the 18 plus sack guy that we saw last season, and already add to our 68 sack league leading, 5, and we beat the 89 Bears with a 73 sack total. Already have 4 linemen, first ever to have 10 plus sacks. Beast this year. Man, Hassan Reddick, give him some defensive MVP love. He ain't gonna get it, but he's been crucial. Rivaling Parsons with that 2 sack a game output. He has like 3 or 4 games, at least 3. Beastly. But yeah, so I mean that's that. He provides a lot of depth, key depth for us though, with Josh Sweat out until the playoffs most likely. But we got fortunate as hell with that injury because looked like could have been paralysis could have been on the table, but luckily he was able to shake it off, maybe a stinger or something of that sort. But the last item I want to get to here is do we bring in some depth free agents just in case? I would love to see them bring in Cre'Von LeBlanc. Like I said, if kick the tires on him, bring it in for the interview, and see if he can run. See if he's still got the wit on the whiteboard with the plays. If he still got that and he still got the physical tools, sign that man up, because I don't want to see someone else get to him. In the case of emergency, or just be prepared, as Scar would say. And I just would love to have him in here, or some other free agents elsewhere. There's some other places that we need to shore up. I haven't looked at it quite so in depth, but could be. But anyways, that does it for us today. Just wanted to kick the ball around some other topics. But anyways, let's get up out of here. Fly Eagles fly. Let's go.
Like, comment, share, subscribe if you
Thanks for watching. Check me out at Cintron Anime, Cintron Life, or Cintron Laughs, or other social media.